This is Dan the Dad, your father's favorite wrestler, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag Podcast. And if you turn it off, you're going to be grounded.
This is Jasmine McKenzie, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
This is the Mile High Magnum Dak Draper, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag Podcast.
Hey everybody, this is the anti-Pope, Greg Jovi, the best professional wrestling manager in the entire world, the best color commentator in the entire world, and the best home decor of anybody that has done this. And you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
Yeah, it's your boy, the hot topic, the baddest mamma jamma, the whole thing, Raheem De La Suede, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag Podcast.
Reach for it. Reach for it. Reach for it. I'm Matt Seidel. This is the I-70 Hot Tag.
What's up, everybody? It is one half of the beautiful people and seven-time women's world champion Angelina Love. And aren't you lucky? You are watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
I'm Marcus Buff Bagwell, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag, baby. Check it out, and remember, no matter what, I'm Buff, and I'm still the stuff.
And now, CR Media presents the I-70 Hot Tag with your host, Chaos Chase, and the real Josh Elliott.
What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Chase, aka CR Media. We are here for another episode of the I-70 Hot Tag. We are looking at episode 60. Episode 60. We got quite the show planned for you tonight. We've got Dred Roberts on the show. We've seen Dred Roberts in CSW. We've seen him in XWE, Mid-States Wrestling, all over the place in Kansas and Missouri. So very excited for that. Second half of the show, we're going to break down some news. Also, we've got an announcement tonight, don't we?
Yes, we do. A big one.
Oh, who is that? Who is that? Oh, my bad. How rude of me not to introduce my friend, my co-host, the real Josh Elliott. Josh, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Hey, the special announcement is much more important than my introduction. So,
agreed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Major announcement. We'll announce just after the 5-minute break.
Yes. Hunter Dillon, appreciate Hunter Dillon coming in. He says, big interview tonight. Hello, Chase and Josh. Everybody in here, Matthew Holland, Gears of Kai on the YouTube side. Also, Dean Houston on the Facebook side. If you guys are in here, say what's up. Appreciate you. Sunny Money, appreciate you joining in. Brian J. Bay. Guys, if you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag, on Facebook, hit the like button, the heart button, whatever one of those reaction buttons, and put a comment in there. Let us know you're there. It helps Facebook's algorithm get us out there and let more people know what's going on. We are also live on the I-70 Hot Tag YouTube page as well. Same thing goes there. If you're watching, say what's up, say hi, hit that thumbs up button, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Josh?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell everybody where they can find me on social media, and that is at CR Media 1988. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you in the I-70 Hot Tag, sir?
Yes, sir. You can find me at the real Josh Elliott. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I don't get out there very often, but as we always say, for that local independent wrestling content, Kansas and Missouri, Midwest, go follow the I-70 Hot Tag. Same platforms. We are live right now, as Chase was talking about, on our Facebook and YouTube page, but we've got an Instagram, we've got a Twitter, and go follow us on TikTok as well. We post exclusive, clips of the show on our TikTok page that we don't post on other platforms. So if you've got a TikTok page and you don't follow us, please head on over there, hit that follow button, that like button, that share button on all the platforms. We greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Before we get into this, Josh, I know kind of had some unfortunate news this past week. I'm going to let you do it, man, because I get a little, yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys follow us on social media, we share a lot of stuff on our pages, and we found out early this week of an incident that occurred over the weekend. I'm not sure the exact date, but for those of you who are familiar with KCXW, a wrestler known by the name of Alan Jones, AJ, was unfortunately involved in a car accident, a very severe car accident. And I'm going to kind of read to you guys a little bit. They have set up a GoFundMe for him to kind of help out with expenses of his recovery. But I kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up of what happened here. So Alan Jones, AJ, is needing as much prayers and support as possible. He's a 22-year-old and is a professional wrestler athlete that is now facing a fight of his life. AJ was asleep in a vehicle coming home from Chicago when the accident occurred. Accident details are still unclear, but what is clear is AJ is received significant life-changing injuries. He is in the ICU now in Springfield, Illinois. He has extensive broken bones and other injuries. He is currently on a ventilator for the foreseeable future and is facing a lot of surgeries, treatment, recovery therapy ahead. So what we did is at the top of our screen, we have put the QR code to the GoFundMe. If you guys can and or have the means to, please go check that out and donate if you can. If not, go follow our pages and share that post as many times as you can to kind of get Alan some help, because he's a great kid. We interviewed him back in January. He had a very, very bright future in the business and in life, and that's an unfortunate event that took place this weekend. So we'll leave that QR code up for the entirety of the episode.
Yes. Thank you, sir. I can't do that and not get, I have to stop and think of you. So, anyways, Matthew Holland, yes, he was on the show, just like Josh said. He was on in January. We interviewed him. Dean, absolutely. Dean Houston. Alan is one of Dean's kids, if you will. Dean does a lot of driving for the guys, Tobias, Blair, AJ, and his daughter Shylin. So, it's a very close-knit family over there. And we, like I said, just to reiterate what Josh said, he was a great kid with a bright future. And we, anything you can do to help, just keep Mr. AJ in your thoughts, man. So, man, I hate that we did that at the beginning. But kind of moving on. We want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Big Daddy's Donuts and Dean's Trophies. Big Daddy's Donuts has 3 locations in the South Kansas City metro area. That's 2 in Raymore. Actually all 3 in Raymore, right? Or no, 1 in Belton.
One's in Belton.
Sorry.
Yep.
And then Dean's Trophies has 2 locations, 1 in Lee Summit and 1 in Raymore. Big Daddy's Donuts, don't have to tell you about what they offer. They offer delicious, scrumptious donuts. But you got to make sure that you get in there by 9 or 10 o'clock, because if you wait after 10, they will be sold out. And then Dean's Trophies offers, plaques, custom shirts, banners, any kind of stuff you can think of like that. In fact, the t-shirts that I sell, that we sell at the events are done by Dean's Trophies. So special shout out to those guys. Also want to give a shout out to our guest from the hot tag. Sorry. What? I'm reading the notes, and then I'm like, 2 weeks ago, I was like, why are we not shouting out our guest last week? We didn't have a guest last week. That's why. So want to give a shout out to our guest, Joe Helms. Appreciate that interview with him. If you guys want, go check out the YouTube video on demand library, and make sure you give Joe Helms give that interview with Joe Helms a like and comment on that. Now that we got all that out of the way, Josh.
Yes, sir.
Tradition is I let you introduce our guests. So I'm not going to break tradition tonight, man. I'm going to let you introduce our guest right now.
Yeah, as you said in the intro, very special episode tonight. This man you've seen in Central States Wrestling. You've seen him in XWE Wrestling. He wrestles over in Rocky Mountain Pro in Colorado. And this weekend, he is in an 8-man tournament for the Mid-States Wrestling Missouri Heavyweight Championship. Please welcome our guest tonight, Mr. Dred Roberts.
Saturday, June 24th in Springfield, Missouri. All my training here in the pit of despair will finally pay off. I will be entering the tournament to become the first ever Mid-States Wrestling Missouri Heavyweight Champion. I'm not just beating 3 other men. No, I am annihilating them. I am humiliating them. And after that, everyone will know and fear the name Dred Roberts.
Dred, how you doing, sir?
Well, I'm doing all right, and I would say that I'm privileged and honored to come to your show, but you put me on after you had such a sad story, so I feel like you're trying to tell the people that they should hate me. You know, they're like, this guy's gonna come on and talk about himself, and we just heard about this terrible tragedy and story. And so I really don't know if I should feel honored or privileged to be on here. I feel like maybe I should be challenging you guys to be in the ring. I don't know. Maybe I got off on the wrong foot. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Dred, we appreciate you taking the time to come on here with us.
Thank you.
You know, kind of kick this thing off, man. I start off every single interview I do by asking you to tell us and our viewers, who is Dred Roberts?
Man. So Dred Roberts, he is a lot of different things, and it's kind of depends on where you see him at. Some places he's the Dred Nurse Roberts, and other places he's just Dred Roberts. But anyway, anywhere you go, he's just going to be, he's a dangerous guy. He, you know, he didn't come into this scene of professional wrestling trying to be a bad guy. You know, his very first match, he came out looking for respect, and the people booed him. And since then, he's had a hatred for just nobodies that are in the crowd that think that they're better than Dred Roberts, that they can come and do what Dred Roberts does, and that they somehow know more than Dred Roberts. I've gone to school. I have my degree. I'm an ICU nurse. I know how to kill people. I know how to hurt and maim. Not that I would do that, but I know how to do it nonetheless. And there needs to be respect behind that name. And so there's a lot that fuels Dred Roberts, and there's a lot to him. But I guess in a quick summary, that could be said who Dred Roberts is.
There you go. You know, I know you spent a lot of time in, I guess, northern Missouri with Niles Planquet. You trained underneath Niles.
Yep.
Kind of talk to us about your journey to get into professional wrestling. What kind of interests you? Have you always been a fan? And how did you come across Niles School?
Yeah, well, truth be told, I've never watched professional wrestling in my life. I'm not a fan. No, I'm just joking. That would be terrible. No, I've since I was a kid, that's the only thing I can remember. Always trying to watch it. I can remember my mom didn't want us watching when we were young, and so she would hear us from the other room. We'd be flipping through the channels, and I think there was one time that Jericho was on, and he called someone an ass clown, and she's yelling out from the other room. She's like, "What did I just hear?" We're like, "Oh, nothing, Mom." And then I got in trouble one time when I was a kid because I heard Stone Cold say just SOB to somebody, and I got in trouble because I called my sister an SOB one time, and I didn't, at the time I was young, I didn't know what it meant, and she got me in trouble for that one. But I've always watched it, and it's always been an influence on me. Whenever I was able to finally start watching it, there was no stopping me. I knew it's what I wanted to do. The journey goes, I had originally planned to go to train under Harley Race after high school. That didn't happen for several reasons. I kind of was talked out of it, made not to believe in myself, and I had some health issues at the time that kind of prevented me from it. But a couple years down the road, I ended up moving to Tulsa, Oklahoma, actually, for a couple years. And I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to try it. I'm going to go for it. And so Niles wasn't my first trainer, actually, but he's definitely the biggest influence. And
getting me where I am today. But so my original trainer was a guy by the name of Mitch Baxter, who had trained under Dr. Death Steve Williams. Trained with him for a little bit, and then it was time to move back to Kansas City, and he introduced me to Craig. And I came up to Kansas City, and I only trained with Craig for a couple months, honestly, and then I had an ankle issue that was bugging me, and I couldn't, so I had to step away while I dealt with that, and while I went to nursing school. And then fast forward 2 years, the last semester of nursing school kind of slowed down a little bit and allowed me to have some free time, and that's when I decided, I'm like, I know I definitely want to go back. My ankle's healed. I'm able to be active, and I want to have a go at this. And unfortunately, I was a little bit older in life when I started, but here I am. I still made it happen. So I started training with Craig again at that or Niles Ponkey, and it's been great.
If you don't mind us asking, how old are you?
31.
31.
Yeah.
Nice. So Dred, before we get into the wrestling talk, kind of want to talk to you about, what you do outside of the ring. You mentioned that you're an ICU nurse. So not only are you living a hectic life wrestling on the weekends, Dred, but you're also working a hectic day job. Kind of talk to us a little bit about how you got started in the medical field and how that, how you kind of balance the work life and the wrestling life.
How much time do we have, man? I don't know. It's hard. After high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I kind of bummed around for several years, and I had a friend who was a nurse or was going to school for nursing and told me about it. And it sounded interesting because I'd always liked medical things, and I just didn't want to be a doctor. To me, it just was a lot of schooling and a lot of time. And the payoff wasn't too great for me. I was like, yeah, you get good money, but like too much responsibility, not too much that I wouldn't want to have all that. So I still have a lot of responsibility now, but not nearly as much as them. And so I decided to do that. I took school the slow way just because I was kind of nervous because I wasn't the greatest student in high school and stuff, just with family drama going on. So I wanted to make sure I did it right, and I gave it my all. So I kind of did things like a part-time student, and so it just took me a long time to finally become a nurse. But I mean, everyone has their own timeline, and if you stick with things, that's the biggest thing. Is you can want something, and people still get burnt out because they try to do too much at one time. But if you do things at your own pace, and you stick with something, and because you want it enough, then I mean, you'll make it happen. You'll find a way to make it happen. But so there's how I got into that, and the balance is rough at times because I want to wrestle more, but I still I love and enjoy nursing very much. So there's so much that you can do with it, and plus I need to start paying off my student loan, so I need to work more. And so it is hard. Definitely takes a toll on just like personal life and everything, trying to balance both, but you decide what you want in life and what you want to pursue, and you make the cuts where you need to and the sacrifices where you need to, and you just make it happen.
There you go. I wanted to ask you, I don't know what your relationship is with him, but when we advertised the show, a certain individual who just became the Kansas heavyweight champion in mid-states made sure to point out that come watch the show, and he mentioned that if you talked about all your wins, it'd be the quickest podcast, but if you talked about all your losses, you may still be on there 2 weeks from now. I saw a picture of you and him in the gym, kind of working out together. Kind of talk about your relationship with Burt Cameron.
Yeah, Burt Cameron, we were at the gym because we were headed to Steel Domain Wrestling in Minnesota last weekend, and he just asked to tag along, and I said, yeah, you know what, I'll show you how Dred Roberts works out. I'll show you his lifting regiment, and maybe you can finally be respectable and look respectable one day. But he's not there yet, but I'll keep working on him. And no, and he's great. Sometimes, you know, he just kind of gets in his head, and he gets a little too high on his horse. And Dred Roberts one of these days is going to knock him down, and he's going to take that Kansas title because that it is mine. It belongs to me. I won it. He's not even from Kansas. I live in Kansas. I'm from Kansas. And I don't think he deserves it. And so one of these days I'm gonna take it from him. Either I'll just beat him fair and square, or I'll torture him a little bit and I'll steal it from him and make him pay. But one way or another, that's gonna be mine someday.
There you go. Chase?
So Dred, let's talk about where Josh and I first saw you. Central States Wrestling, Deal with the Steel 4 back in December. You went one-on-one with Scott Tyler in a great match. You know, it's very highly praised on this show. We thought you guys told a great story in the ring. So kind of talk to us about your time in CSW and talk to us about that specific match.
Yeah, CSW, it was a goal of mine and still is to continue to work there. I would love to be able to go back. And I've gone several times, and there just hasn't been room on the card at the time, and it's fine. It is what it is. There'll be time eventually. But I have Dak Draper to thank for that match, actually, because he was at a Rocky Mountain Pro show that I was at, and during we went to the seminar, and we had a bit of a practice match, and he liked what he saw, apparently, and had told me to go to show up to Deal with the Steel, and you know I'd get to meet Strider and everybody, and so he introduced me, and I was able to get a match, and despite the outcome, because it was the biggest upset of the night, no matter, I don't care who you are, any other match on that card, that was the biggest upset. Despite that, I really enjoyed it. Scott is he's athletic. He's got what it takes. I get to train with him every now and again, and he just still blows me away by like how short he's done it and how good he is. But that's one of my favorite. That's probably my favorite match that I have recorded. I have a match. My other top favorite match was a match that I had with Niles Planquet. That was, I just didn't get recorded, which is really those are my two favorite matches that I've had so far. But that match to me with Scott, just the crowd, we could feel the crowd got behind it. They were really into it. I heard like comments online and stuff like that, people saying like, you know, it'd be cool if we had like a rubber band match, like kind of a couple back and forth, which I would love to do. I would love to have more matches with him. I think we could do some fun stuff, but I think the biggest reaction that we got from that match was the choke slam. Honestly, I think someone said that they heard that in the back, and they're like, "What was that?" They're like, "Oh, Scott Tyler just died in the middle of the ring."
Yep.
That was the plan. I tried to, and then I gave him some CPR to revive him, and I shouldn't have done that because he came back and he kept targeting my head and my neck, and he ultimately got the win. So that was my mistake. I won't bring him back to life next time.
That's great. We sponsored XWE New Year's Beatdown in Leavenworth earlier this year. You were in a 6-man tag for that event. You work a lot in mid-states, wrestling in Springfield and Harrison, Arkansas. So you don't have to be specific, but just kind of from a talent's point of view, kind of tell us the differences between working in like Kansas and Arkansas versus working in Missouri, where we got to deal with the Missouri Athletic Commission. Is it much different from a talent standpoint?
Only just because you get nagged at to have your blood work and stuff done. That's really, at least from the top of my head, that's the main issues I've run into. Because working in Kansas, you don't have to really worry about that, and I kind of forget that that's a thing sometimes because I I've just been good about being on top of that. So, but I got a couple, or more recently, they were like, "Hey, make sure you have your blood work and everything." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a thing here in Missouri." And so, yeah, as far as that goes,
is that the only state that you've wrestled in that has something like that? Commission like
my
that?
very first match ever was actually in Oklahoma, and you have to have a license for them as well. But I haven't been back there yet. I want to make it back there, but those are the only two. Yeah.
Is it weird that the wrestling promotion has to pay the athletic commission in cash?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
There's a lot that's weird.
It's the only government agency that will only accept cash.
That's very interesting.
Very,
I
very,
have
very,
a lot
very,
I could say about all that, but
yeah. Dred, on Monday we watched your match in Rocky Mountain Pro against CBD Carson Drake. Tell us a little bit about that match and Rocky Mountain Pro as a whole.
Oh yeah. That match was fun. I had never seen or heard or worked with CBD, but he's a really cool guy. I enjoyed working with him. And Rocky Mountain Pro was great. You get to learn how to work television, and so that's a very important thing to know. Just because, if you get your shot and you could blow it, if you get your opportunity to be whatever promotion you want to be at, and they're looking for you to know how to work TV, and you look stupid and don't know how to do it, it could have costed you right there. But if you go try to find places that are able to help you learn how to work TV, then that could make or break you. Plus the connections that are there at Rocky Mountain Pro is also very valuable. But it took me a little bit of time, I feel like, to it took me a couple of stints over there to, I feel like, get the people behind me in the back. Because I was a big guy there, so you instantly kind of get looked at in a good light. But also, I think, and this goes with anybody that trains with Craig, it's like, yeah, I might come in and look like this big dude, but can I work well? And all of my training group that we all trained with Craig all around the same time, that's one thing that we hear all the time from all these places we go to, is they're just amazed about how new we all are and how far along we actually seem. And so, trying to get my camera straight there. There's one, I think it was my second or third time there at Rocky Mountain Pro, and we were shooting TV, and so those are always long days. You're filming for hours and hours and hours, and lots of matches. I think I had 7 matches that day, and that kind of won them over on me. They talked at the end of it all. They had kind of given me a shout out, being like, "This dude, he's new here. He picked up a lot of slack from people that didn't necessarily want to have an extra match or two." And me and my tag team partner at the time over there, his name is Warren Adams. We had, out of those 7 matches that I had, I think 5 of them were tag matches with him. And we said yes. We said we're willing. We want to get the practice. We want to get the experience. And we lost them all, but they saw our heart and determination, and it kind of ultimately just kind of got them over on us. And so I haven't been back since January. I would like to go back possibly in August, but I need to reach out to them and kind of see what I can do. But it was a good time.
If you don't want me asking, Dre, is D'Lo there on a regular basis, or does he kind of come and go?
From my experience, he's there on a regular basis. He might, I don't think he lives there, but he comes in for all their stuff, at least for their recordings and everything like that. I can't attest to some of the other things, but for pay-per-views and their TV days and stuff, he's always there.
Awesome. So one of the best parts about this show, Dred, is that we're live, so we like to have interaction with the live viewers and also questions as well. Got a couple in the chat. Hunter Dillon wanted to know who your favorite person to square off with in Rocky Mountain Pro is.
Someone that I've already squared off with, or who would I like to? Let me see.
Both. Why not?
Okay. Yeah, let's just do both. Favorite person I squared off with. Man, minimize the chat there. Marty the Moth is definitely among the top that I really just enjoyed. I mean, I can just list off like a handful of them that I've had good in, like Sledge. I worked with Sledge and Marty the Moth and CBD. I think were three of my favorites that I got to. Also JK Pop, their tag team, their big tag team there was a lot of fun. Me and Rex Amadeus had a tag team match against them, and that was a lot of fun. So those are all guys that I loved too. I love to work. I would like to do it again. Who haven't I that I would like to? I think it'd be interesting with me and Damon Ace. We have similar builds, look similar. So it's like the battle of the bald versus not quite bald, but mostly bald, I guess. Most of his head is shaved. Not an insult to him at all. Just he hasn't fully committed.
Yeah.
He still has like the mohawk or something like that. But I think that would be interesting. I think we both have kind of bigger, brooding type of personalities and styles, and it's kind of just going to be a battle of who hits hardest, who hits first, who hits loudest. That would be fun. But Craig Kiesman's always out of those places, and I would never say no to working with him, or even Derek Stone. I would love to as well. He got injured one of the times I was there, and so I actually got to a lot of these places I go, I kind of get to be wrestler and nurse on the backstage, and so I got to kind of help him with his knee injury. But yeah, I would love to work with Derek Stone as well.
Absolutely. And then the second question we had in the chat for you is Sunny Money says, any chance we'll see you check a pulse or bust out the stethoscope on an opponent after you pin him?
Yeah, I could do something like that. I have some fun things planned that I want to break out eventually. The problem with not the problem, but where I'm at currently with some of the promotions aren't the biggest fan of the nurse. So I have to kind of put him on hold and kind of explore other things sometimes, but that's okay. But I'm excited to bring the nurse out every now and again and kind of get to grow. And because I don't, it's different because you get a lot of people that come in with their medical gimmicks and stuff like that. But they're gimmicks. Mine's not. I live it out. But also most of them do doctors, and I'm not a doctor. I'm a nurse, and nurses have way more patient interaction, and so I like to have interactions with my patients in the ring, and sometimes I like to abuse them a little bit, but it's all for their ultimate health and betterment. Sometimes they need to take some losses just so they can learn some humility and whatnot, but that's all I'm there for.
Are you familiar with Red James?
Red who?
He says illustrious Ray Leon is the best wrestler in RMP. So
I forgot Ray was there. I would love to work with Ray.
We reluctantly thank Red James for tuning in. So Sonny Money has it all booked here for you. Are you familiar with Dr. Ison and New Breed?
I am, yes.
Okay. Sonny says we need a Dr. Ison versus Dred Roberts in a Midwest malpractice gurney match.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. I haven't approached him about the subject just because I don't want him to feel I'm trying to infringe his gimmick, but it's different. Like I said, nurse, doctor. I was gonna have the idea to bring to him someday about maybe doing like a tag team thing. Like if he ever gets to a place where he kind of wants to slow down and he just wants to give orders, I could always be the muscle behind the order. And,
No, I think it'd be great to start off with a feud. You could play the baby face, and challenge him and tell him that he's not a real doctor, and because he's not.
No, yeah.
Horrible. So, and then after you guys are done with the Midwest malpractice gurney match that Sonny booked here, then you guys could join up and do a tag team. So,
yeah, that'd be fun.
You mentioned, working for Rocky Mountain, you get a chance to kind of prepare for TV. You're working as TV tapings. You had an opportunity last year sometime. You were in AEW here in Kansas City as one of, 20 or 25?
One of the 20 security guards.
Yeah. So, we always like to ask the wrestlers who get that opportunity to work for WWE or AEW, kind of what was that process like? How did you get contacted, and what was it like working for AEW and getting a little bit of TV time?
Oh, it was great. I didn't want to go there, and I wanted to be professional and not just seem like I was a fan backstage, but I was just sitting there looking at like people I'd idolized since I was a kid, and turn on some. Hold on. I'm gonna try to turn on some lights, but looking around, and like Matt Hardy was like right behind me, and who else did I like? Billy Gunn and all these people there, but like Matt was one of my biggest inspirations, or is. I'm really excited to work some bigger people sometimes, because I'll be able to show off my like more agile style, and I definitely kind of incorporate some like Hardy Boys stuff. But growing up, me and my best friend, like we were the Hardy Boys. Like I was Matt, he was Jeff, and I always appreciated Matt's just like down to earthness and his discipline and everything like that, being the brains behind the operation. Unfortunately, it was the same night that was supposed to have had the Hardys and Bucks ladder match, and most people know Jeff ended up having a DUI, and so I was actually surprised Matt was there, but I thought it best not to bother him with all that going on. So I hope to go back so I can actually get to meet him. But seeing all these people that are just making it right now and doing great things, it was really just a great moment for me as a fan. But how did I get contacted? I think Craig Kiesman or Niles Planquet had given me the email address for their extra guy, which was Captain Sean Dean. And I emailed him, and thankfully he got back to me, because there's other friends what happened? I was at Tri-States doing a match, and Craig had gotten a text being like, hey, we need a bunch of extras to do this 20-man thing, that AEW needs 20 guys. And I think basically I just luckily I emailed him in time before other people. And so so I called in that day too. I was supposed to work, and I was there in St. Louis, and I called in, and I was like hiding in the garage or whatever, and there's like a bunch of noise going on in the background. I was just like, yeah guys, sorry, I can't come in today, I got some important stuff going on. But you got to make the sacrifices.
Most definitely.
Yeah, thankfully they never found out, so hopefully they don't listen to this, but that was a year ago. So yeah, that's how I got in contact with them, and I tried to get in contact with them in WWE this last year when they were both in Kansas City at the same time, and unfortunately I didn't hear back from people at that time, but there's more opportunities.
Yep. So, I wanted to ask you, this Saturday, you're going to be in Springfield, Missouri, part of that 8-man tournament to crown the MSW Missouri heavyweight champion. Your first round match is against, is it CTV? Colton Theron Vaught.
Yep.
Kind of tell us what we can expect from you in the tournament, and why Dred Roberts is going to be that first Missouri heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I've been saying it for weeks now. I will be the first Missouri heavyweight champion, and because I'm going to go in and annihilate them. I'm going to humiliate each of the people I have to wrestle there that night. I think there's 3 of them, but they're probably, after I destroy Colton, there probably won't be anyone that wants to, so they'll probably all just forfeit. But I just am. Unfortunately, I haven't won any of my matches there at Mid States yet. But each of my matches, they understand who they walked in the ring with, and they understand that they barely escaped with their victory or with their career, or even maybe their life. But I definitely made them fight for it, and I kind of always just kind of get over my head, and I don't capitalize on things I should. I start to play with my food, so to speak, and so I need to maybe rein it in some. But I'm there to make my presence known and to make a name and to make an impact, and I think this tournament will just be the start of that.
There you go.
I like it.
I wanted to, before we get to the ending here, we got a couple comments and questions in the chat.
There's a light.
There's some light. Sunny Money wanted to ask, is there any traditions or superstitions you have prior to a match?
No, not really. I don't like do any superstitions or rituals per se. Maybe some that I don't realize, but just for my character work, I do kind of just there's a lot of, I don't know, this character for me it's an inspiration of so many different things that I like Kane. Like, I love The Undertaker, but Kane to me growing up was just so much more intriguing. Just the mystique of the mask, the pyro, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And so I like to have this Kane vibe going on, but also, like, as a kid, I had always had this dream of having some like awesome masked like type of monster persona type of thing. And I also grew up really enjoying I didn't grow up, I kind of guess I got into it later in life, but the story of like the Phantom of the Opera, to me, I always thought could be like transitioned into wrestling in some way. Maybe not made it so like on the nose, but anyways. And so like just the story of the Phantom, and just like how his loneliness and his brooding and everything, kind of just, I try to like listen to that and really get into it, and kind of just try to just get in that mindset. Or it'll either be Phantom of the Opera I'll be listening to, or some just like Avenged Sevenfold, or or just some other just like, I don't know, just emo or emo or like punk songs or something like that, like some like Chemical Romance or things like that. I'll just like blast and stuff and get into the headspace for it. But.
So you talked about it. You talked about it earlier, but old Rexy's in the chat. Wants to know who your favorite tag team partner is and why it was Rex Amadeus.
It will never be Rex Amadeus, but also at the same time might always be Rex Amadeus. I don't know how that works, but we had a really fun match against JK Pop for sure. I would like to we had some ideas for some stuff with me and him, and also just with one of our training partners, Donovan Era, that we would like to try out sometime. But my longest tag team partner, her longest stint, was with Warren Adams and Rocky Mountain Pro, and we were just scratching the surface with that as well. I felt like we could have done a lot, because he's one of the best talkers. I don't know if you guys have gotten to hear him. But I would love to do things with him also. So I don't really have a favorite. I'm just kind of putting all my guys over. But he is great on the mic. He's short in stature, and so he doesn't necessarily get all the opportunities, but his skill on the mic should shoot him to the moon. And I think it'd be cool if we had a tag team where he was on the mic and I just dished out the pain. We can make something work. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just make a faction with all my training partners. I don't know. We'll see.
There you go.
There you go. Red James says, I feel bad for you, big boy. CTV is going to wrap you up in a hold and make you tap. Sunny Money wants you to turn your light back off.
Turn another one on just for him.
There you go. Red James says, you got to be the biggest emo I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know what this is, but Rex says the Midwest
Menagerie.
Menagerie will ride
That's
one
what.
day.
Yeah, that was the tag team name he came up with. Was the Midwest Menagerie.
Oh wow! And then Gears of Kai wants you to throw out some emo bands that you listen to.
I don't even know, man. It's just like a lot of just punk stuff. Just like I kind of just opened up a playlist one day and I just started adding them all to a playlist. It's just kind of like the more mainstream ones. It's just like I'd have to pull up my Spotify right now to really remember. Like My Chemical Romance, I only thought I liked a couple of them growing up, but like I added like almost like several albums worth of songs recently on my playlist. But
I do the same thing. Like when I was younger, I was like, I would make fun of kids that listen to it, and then like now that I'm older, like I'll be like, wow,
like, this stuff is great. Yeah.
So Dred, as we kind of wrap this down, talk to us about some bookings and ventures you got going on over the next few weeks.
Mid States this weekend. I need to reach out to some people for some July stuff. I don't really think I have anything going on in July right now, but I have hopefully another Steel Domain in Minnesota in August, and then I think All American Pro or something in Minnesota as well as in August. And then also hopefully I need to reach out to Rocky Mountain Pro as well. So none of these are guaranteed. These are all just my hopefuls. I need to reach out to these people, but I just need to get better at putting myself out there and getting booked, because I kind of do things not purposely, but last minute, unless it's with people that I'm more established with, like at Rocky Mountain or at like a Mid States or something like that. But just this year, especially, I'm hoping to pick things up a lot. So just be ready to see me everywhere.
Do you have any Dred Roberts merchandise?
I have a T-shirt that I just got made, and I should be selling at Mid States on Springfield.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. By any chance, what's that T-shirt look like?
Why are you trying to steal my ideas?
No. I was gonna plug our buddy Hunter.
Oh, it's got a like anatomical heart that has like the veins spell out DNR on the heart, and then underneath it says like Dred Roberts and stuff.
Like it, I like it. Hunter's been he's become a good friend of ours, and he's a good kid. So, and I followed his page and saw he made he shows like the logos he's worked on. And so I saw that logo. So it's funny, like his connection to Rocky Mountain Pro, and then the guys that we interview on here that come through, the Kansas and Missouri side as well.
I honestly need good connections with all that stuff. I need to get some other things made for for just Dred Roberts without the nursing stuff, and so I definitely need some designs and help with all that. So I'll definitely reach out to whoever.
Absolutely. Where can we find you on social media, sir?
Instagram, I'm at Dred Roberts _DNR. I have Facebook that I think it's just look up Dred Roberts. And Twitter, I think it's DNR _KC. I have a TikTok as well. I don't remember what it is, but just probably Dred Roberts something or other. And I think that's it for my socials.
There you go. Nice. Go give our friend here, Dred Roberts, a follow on all the socials. Dred, we really appreciate you taking the time out to do this. This was a fun interview. We've been looking forward to this for a while.
Yeah. Thank you.
If you, I don't know if you saw the intro. We like to close every interview out with kind of taking Chase and I off screen. Have you kind of ramp up the gimmick a little bit and say, "This is Dred Roberts, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag."
All right. Yeah, I think I can do something like that.
All right.
Wait, what did Money say real quick? Hold up.
He said, "In all seriousness, I'm a Dred Roberts fan, and I always enjoy watching you keep rocking, man."
Yeah, he knows. He knows he can't say no to me.
All right. We'll take ourselves off the screen, and once you get full screen, you can go ahead and start.
All right, sounds good. At the end of the day, when all the dust settles and the doctor's orders are in, only one thing is important, and that's that my name is the Dred Roberts, and you are listening to the I-70 Hot Tag.
I like it.
Love it.
Screwed it up, but it's okay.
No, it's perfect.
No, it's perfect. We appreciate you taking the time to do this, Dred. Obviously we'll see you around. And get home, sir.
I will, yeah. I just got out of the hospital and I'm just sitting here in the car.
All right. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys. You too.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
All right. Dred Roberts, everybody. Appreciate Dred taking the time to do that interview for us. Appreciate everybody in the comments, all the viewers, everything. Josh,
I know that's what I'm looking at. I'm like,
he said, is that a poster I'm on to your left?
That right there. Yeah, it's unfortunately, yes, you're hanging on my wall, Red.
Yeah. Dean says, I've heard Shylin will be coming out to AJ's music at New Breed Wrestling this Saturday night to honor him. That is badass. Steven
awesome.
Chambers, appreciate you joining, sir. We're about to take an intermission, so don't go anywhere. Chase has my haircut from when I was growing up. No, I do not. It's a little bit of business in the front and a little bit of party in the back. So no, I don't have your haircut growing up. And then Josh has your haircut now. Actually, you're wrong on that one too, Brody, because you don't have any gray hair. So
neither do I. I cut it all out.
You sure about that?
You sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
much harder to see when it's shorter. So
yes. Anyways, guys, we are going to take a 5-minute intermission. Please do not go anywhere. Go get you a drink, go use the restroom, come back, watch the mid-show break video. Josh works very hard on it. You'll see our sponsors on there. You will see upcoming shows and promos.
All leading to this weekend, which we have 5 independent wrestling shows happening this weekend. So there's promos.
I'm not surprised.
Already, there's promos all over the mid-show break. We're going to be announcing. If you weren't here on Monday, you have not seen the announcement for our guest on July 13th. I believe it is the date. So we're announcing that. And we will announce a big announcement, I guess, right after the mid-show break. We got something special for you guys. So we will see you guys in 5.
Hello, CSW fans. It's Gil Rogers here, and I am so excited to announce that I'll be appearing live June 24th at the National Guard Armory in Lenexa, Kansas. I'll be signing autographs, taking pictures with all the wonderful fans at CSW. But that's not all. I've been a wrestling fan all my life, and I want to see the 2 very best at CSW settle it once and for all. The Monarch, Jeremy Wyatt, and the Mile High Magnum, Dak Draper. Champion versus champion, title for title. Let's settle it once and for all. June 24th, Lenexa, Kansas, National Guard Armory. Be there.
John Roosevelt Graham here, and this Saturday night, Springfield, Missouri, at the Relics Event Center. I'm coming in. We're going to beat this tournament. There's going to be 8 guys in this tournament, and I'm going to take them all out. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go home and do Missouri champion.
June 24th, Springfield, Missouri. The Silverback Big Joe Helms has to go through 3 men in an 8-man tournament to crown the first ever Mid-States Missouri heavyweight champion. And that's exactly what the Silverback's going to do. It is time for the rise of the Silverback.
Big Daddy's Donuts with 3 Kansas City metro locations. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy donuts, and that's kind of the same thing. I can't wait to sink my teeth into one. Big Daddy's equals donuts.
Champ has the microphone.
The champion doesn't have his crown. The last time I was in the GloryPro ring at the pageant, big man Take Me stole it from me. No.
Like a thief in the night.
He stole our championship. He stole our throne. How am I gonna be a champion with no throne to defend?
That's what our tactical over. Let's try it back.
Camaro Jackson said it from the beginning. It is our title.
Look at me. I know you watching. I know you watching, you big ugly son of a bitch. And I'm gonna send your message right goddamn now.
Oh boy.
You didn't show up tonight. I guess MLW had you booked, psych.
Oh, hitting him where it hurts.
I dare you. I welcome you. You see, when I first became the crown of Glory Champion, I welcomed all challenges. In the locker room and outside of the locker room. And I'd like to defend our championship to a stranger. I freaking will. Take me. Delmar Hall. I'll be waiting, bitch.
So, ladies and gentlemen, CSW, looks like once again, the game has been changed on us. The goalpost has been moved once again. So I hear that Conan Lycan is not going to be able to appear this weekend. That's fun. That's fun. I love that. I'm actually really disappointed. Not only was I looking forward to seeing Moonshine Mantel whoop your ass, but I had a whole lot of like 1970s land shark bits I was going to do about you, so I guess I'll have to save that for another time. But I love the wording of the announcement. That's what really got me. That's what really grinded my gears. It said something to the like of, the CSW locker room brought forth the replacement. Oh, did they? Did they? Because I wasn't consulted.
Oh, that's not because of that KD.
Consulted, were they? I know exactly who was consulted. So, Fries, Anaya, Hoodie, I know that you're behind this. You brought in your big, jacked up, 7-foot-tall buddy from the NWL era. You dug him out of the mothballs because, Maddox, all due respect to you, brother, I haven't heard of you since the doors folded back in the day. So, you bring it. I hope you've brought an A game because we've done nothing but keep the territory alive and thriving while you've been gone. And Hoodie, Anaya, Fraz, your young boy, anybody else you have in tow, if you think this or anything else is going to stop us from getting a piece of you again, you are dead wrong.
Welcome back, everybody, to the I-70 Hot Tag. Just got done interviewing Dred Roberts.
Yes, sir.
And now we are going to break down some Kansas and Missouri independent wrestling.
Yes. But before we do, I wanted to check out the chat here. Tyler Cooley, good evening, gentlemen. Been watching the show on my TV. Say hello and said, great interview. Cannot wait for the next weeks to come. These guys are on fire. We really appreciate it, Tyler. Appreciate you tuning in. Red James, can't wait to see Bert's interview. I can't either. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
And Bert, Dennis and I are excited to be on the show. Cannot wait to talk to Dennis and Bert, but definitely Dennis.
Indeed.
And Tyler's excited as well. So, yes, it was fun. And, yeah, next couple weeks gonna be fun. But before we get to that, guys, you guys saw who we're gonna have on in the next few weeks. But we have a big announcement.
Do we?
We do.
Almost
spilled the beans early last week, but it is officially being announced this week. So
officially. Interesting.
So, let me Ba-boom.
Yes. Circus Maximus 18 in St. Louis Anarchy will be sponsored by the I-70 Hot Tag. The Gateway Heritage Championship match, Jeremy Wyatt versus the Kings Road Slayer, Derek Neal. And that's just one of many matches that is on St. Louis Anarchy's card for Circus Maximus. We are extremely excited. Couldn't wait. Really wanted to announce it last week, but it is what it is.
This is our first sponsorship with
St. Louis Anarchy.
Yes, we've yes, it's going to be awesome. It'll be my first Anarchy show. It'll be your third. Is that right? Third or fourth?
Yes.
So, yeah, man, I'm extremely excited to get that atmosphere of an Anarchy show, something that everybody has said so much great things about, and I'm really excited to go experience that live and in color. So
yes, absolutely. Tyler Cooley, I don't know if you've been to a St. Louis Anarchy show, but you should come, man. They're lots of fun. Don't Uber. Sunny knows. Sunny knows.
Your boys get hangry.
And then Brody says, so St. Louis trip. About that. It's July 29th, right?
Yes. Yep.
July 29th. That is a Friday, Tyler. It's in Alton, Illinois.
Which is just on the other side of St. Louis. So it's hop, skip, and a jump from St. Louis.
Pretty much.
So
yes. I was thinking you were going to say you were canceling the show. No, going strong.
Not at all.
Strong. Josh, we are going to have so much fun. Chase and I are going to get you some holy water. Absolutely. I'm going to eat a bunch of holy water or drink a bunch of holy water, whatever.
I did hear that is a delicious beverage to have while you're watching some wrestling. So
yes. The show ain't sinking that fast. That's right. Yeah. Trust me, Red. Our show will last a lot longer than your social media championship reign did in XWE. So, Brody really wants to go on this trip. However, I am going with my wife and kid, one kid, and
I'm going with my wife,
and Josh is going with his wife. Brody, you are more than welcome to come, but you will not be bunking with me and Josh because we are bunking with our wives.
Yep.
Sunny Money, that is number 2 on the night. It is way too soon for those. Are you okay, Josh? Josh is dying. Brian J says 3 drunk dudes: Chase, Josh, and Brian J. Baby. Yeah, Brian J is going. Brian J is making a week out of it as well. I don't know if I think we got him. I think he's good. Blink 3 times if you're good, Josh. All right, he's good. He's good. But yes, just to kind of close that out, we are very excited to be working with St. Louis Anarchy. As our good friend Evan Jalisco said in the interview that we did with him, the St. Louis Anarchy atmosphere is second to none. I've been to the Ukrainian Culture Center to see GCW, and I still would put Alton up against that as far as a rambunctious, rowdy, great atmosphere. So if you can make the pilgrimage to Spalding Hall, I highly recommend it. And it's going to be a great show. Circus Maximus is St. Louis Anarchy's WrestleMania, if you will. It's their big show of the year. So there's going to be a lot of great stuff there. Mike Outlaw versus Gary J.
Davey Vega and Dingo.
Davey Vega and Dingo for the Destination Championship.
Yep.
Formerly known as the GloryPro Kansas City Championship. And then Derek Neal and Jeremy Wyatt. And that's just all that's announced right now. And that's well worth the price of admission in my mind. So
yeah.
Go hang out and go show St. Louis Anarchy some love, and then go up to the table and see Josh and say what's up. I would say that I'm not going to be at the table because I have front row seats with my wife and son, but I know my son, and I'm sure we will eventually make our way over to the table. So
yeah, and I may make my way over to your seat, especially for a Gary J entrance.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
But did we already I don't know, I was kind of freezing there for a minute. Did we already answer Brian as far as where we're staying?
I don't know where Brian, I don't know where Josh is staying, but I'm staying at the Drury Suites in St. Peter's.
St. Peter's, yeah.
Yeah,
we were looking in St. Charles for some hotels. My cousin lives there, so we may go to like breakfast or lunch the next day with her. But the Drury you said has a dinner. You know, they provide dinner for you and breakfast and all that good stuff. But if we're sponsors, they start serving dinner at 5:30. We got to be there before 5:30.
Yes,
to set up. So
I don't know what this
at least I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what this Wii shit is. You got a mouse in your pocket?
So I'll be sitting up. That's fine. Yeah. You got CSW and KCXW to go solo on. So
yeah. I got Brody tagging with me on Saturday, so yes. But yeah, Brian J. St. Peter's was cheaper, and it's only like a 40-minute drive to Alton. So that's what we're gonna do, me and my wife. So you should get the room at the St. Peter's one instead of the St. Charles one. Still get all the same perks.
All right, I just want to eat dinner with you guys.
Oh yeah, fuck you. Yeah. I'll buy you some nachos at Spalding.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I have a story about East St. Louis.
I do too. East St. Louis, Illinois. Trust me. Yeah. All right. Let's get into this, man.
Well, real quick. Brian J can attest. We were gonna go to this chicken place the night of GCW. The night that the tornado sirens were going off and they were making us stay outside. But anyways, I Googled this place. It was the closest food place on Google to Pop's nightclub. And we drive by it and bro, it's literally somebody's house. And there's a bunch of people in the front yard. And like, I was like, nope, I'm good.
Oh, that's great.
That
is great.
Yes. Let's get to the first of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 events going on this weekend.
Yes. Yeah. So, originally we were going to pick and choose a couple matches. I think we're going to run through every match that's announced for each one of these cards. We're going to start off with the one you are sponsoring. We are sponsoring the I-70 Hot Tag this weekend, Central States Wrestling Coronation. Let's kick things off with the women. The Heartbreak Core, Shaza McKenzie, making her third, if I'm correct, her third match in CSW.
Is it?
Or is it her second?
It's her second.
Okay, her second match in CSW against the Anomaly, Kelsey Magnolia, who we've seen in our area making her CSW debut.
Absolutely.
So, I think I got mixed up because this is the third women's match in a row that we've seen.
That is correct.
And Straza wasn't in the first one. That's my bad.
Yep. It was Heather Reckless, Tootie Lynn, and then it was Shaza and Heather, and then now Kelsey Magnolia and Shaza. Yep. So gonna be definitely a great showcase here. Kelsey's doing awesome in our area, and so it's good to see her in CSW. Can't wait to see more of her. And get to see Shaza McKenzie again. So,
and shout out to Wrestling with Sales.
Yes, absolutely.
Sponsoring this match. So,
yeah.
So, next match Adam Azab taking on Orion.
He looks really familiar.
Yeah, for the Tribe. Coach Fraz's son getting that CSW debut. He's been training at the Kansas City Pro Wrestling Academy. Been hearing a lot of good things from him, about him in the training that he's receiving. So about him, and this is a good opportunity for him, especially against Orion, who we saw a couple months ago take on Ryan the Infinite. So this is Orion's second match, Adam's debut. So
yes, Kelsey Magnolia says, "Hey guys." She's super excited for the show. Super excited to see her. Sunny Money says Kelsey is dope. And then he puts hashtag the Tribe and says major shout out to my friend Adam. That's right. Some of the KC Wrestling Academy kind of making an impact already. So that's cool to see, man.
Next up,
oh boy, Merc versus the Giant Slayer, Scott Tyler.
Yes. Scott Tyler, who has yet to be defeated in a singles match, yet to be pinned. He did not come out victorious in the triple threat last month, but still undefeated. Did not take that pin. So he has still been unbeaten in CSW. So Merck's very familiar with the St. Louis territory. He wrestles a lot over there in GloryPro. We've seen him a few times. But this is Scott Tyler, man. He's on a roll. This is going to be fun. And he's being sponsored by Top Tier Figures.
Yep.
So
Brian J is very familiar with Merc, Glory B.
Glory B.
And then Brian J says, I love the tribe, but Orion. But Casey's new kid on the block versus a grizzled vet in Merc. Give me the lightning quick Scott Tyler with the dub. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Speaking of the tribe.
Yes, speaking of the tribe. Sponsored by Two Wrestling Nerds. Hoodie and Anaya with Coach Froz are going to be taking on Jabari King and Matt Kenway from Way of St. Louis. It's interesting. Good to see Matt Kenway kind of getting in there, man. Last time I saw Kenway in Kansas City, I think he was running the merch table for his boys, the Premier.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Very interesting. Want to know, or kind of interesting to see if they run with that. I mean, I don't know, man. I wouldn't. Let me just say this. I wouldn't hate it if we revisited the tribe in the Premier.
Yeah.
So maybe get some 6-man tag action going on there. Coach Froz and Hoodie and Anaya versus Kenway and Soup and SK.
Let's do it.
Yep. The tribe is going to send these jabronis home with a Denny's Groupon and a tissue for the tears from their losses.
We saw the promo in the mid-show break from Greg Jovi.
Absolutely.
His boy Moonshine Mantell is going one-on-one with Maddox, who apparently, and I didn't realize this until he said it, but he wrestled in NWL.
Yeah, man. There's a couple of people on this card that Kansas City hasn't seen in a while since NWL, and Maddox is one of them. So very interesting to see. I haven't followed Maddox after NWL. I don't personally remember Maddox from NWL, but kind of the same sentiment that Greg Jovi said. What have you been doing, Maddox? So it'll be good to see.
Yep. Appreciate Herb Simmons joining in.
Absolutely.
Good seeing you, sir. In a match that has been rotated quite a bit. Originally, this was going to be Cruel's match against Rich Maxwell. Cruel is unable to make the show, so this was a kind of a last-minute switch by matchmaker Michael Strider. Went out and found a replacement here, and the Copperhead Duke Cornell is getting an opportunity here against Rich, who we've seen traditional American pro wrestling over in Kansas. We've seen Duke wrestle there. We've seen him wrestle in Tri-States. So familiar with the area, taking on Rich Maxwell, the main feature. So these are two brand new names, faces to CSW. So this should be a fun one as well.
Absolutely. Want to highlight this real quick. Joe Money said, even though Greg Jovi smells like 435 in Front Street, I think his boy Moonshine is going to spine buster this jump. Moonshine wins 1, 2, 3. He also gave the prediction for this one. Duke with the debut, Duke with the win. Brian J dropping some knowledge on us. Little known fact, Maddox was the original third member of Alpha Omega.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, very excited to see these two newcomers in CSW as well. Be quite interesting.
Yep. You know who's not newcomers in CSW?
One of them is.
One of them is, but I was going with the Premier. Sorry.
Yeah.
The Premier with Roscoe Leach, whatever Roscoe Leach is doing.
Brown and Curry.
Gonna be.
Bro, I thought that was gonna say Brown and Crouppen. Copyright infringement, trademark infringement. Brown and Curry.
I
love it.
Davey Vega and the debuting Gary J, which that's the theme of this show, man. Lots of debuts going on in on this show, but absolutely excited to see Gary come back to Kansas City.
Well, when you've got 5 shows running in Kansas and Missouri, that's it's gonna happen. So
bound to happen, right?
Hunter Dillon has it exactly right. Roscoe Leach, what an ass.
Yep.
So, but what do you think? Does Roscoe? We watched that promo with Roscoe, and it ends with him walking under a bridge.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that. I don't know. It's yet to be seen, so we'll see the continuation of that shot he suffered against Coach Froz in the cage. So the still
brain damage.
I guess it has to be.
Has
to be. Yeah. So speaking of main event time, the match sponsored by the I-70 hot tag, not the match, I'm sorry. Jeremy Wyatt sponsored by the I-70 hot tag, taking on Dak Draper, sponsored by Up Down, title for title. This is going to be we've seen the match before, obviously, but the stakes are at its highest it's been probably ever that they've squared off against each other. So this is going to be a fun ending to the 2 titles. We've talked about this a lot, about the DWF title in a company that doesn't exist anymore. This is the time where only one man's going to hold both championships.
Yes, this is a winner take all. Like Josh said, we've seen this here in Kansas City before, but man, every single time it happens, it's magic. So, one last time, and this time for all the marbles. Your boy, the Monarch, Jeremy Wyatt, sponsored by the I-70 hot tag. What do you think the chances are that I walk up to Jeremy Wyatt and hand him an I-70 hot tag shirt and ask him to wear it to the ring, and he does it?
0%. There's more likelihood that he uses the shirt to blow his nose and throw it back in your face. But nevertheless,
yes, I will tell you what, I will make an attempt. So if I see him, I'll walk up to him.
You should just tell him that's what he should do.
Yeah.
Just wear the shirt or bring it out, show it, blow his nose, throw it in the crowd. Do it.
No. It's a good shirt.
It is a good shirt. That would be a waste of a shirt. It would be a waste of a shirt. Whatever the case may be, the I-70 hot tag is Jeremy Wyatt's sponsor, so I don't know if he'd wear the shirt.
True.
Well, anyway, yeah. So that's CSW, guys. If you guys are in the Kansas City area and you have not got tickets, I don't think they're sold out yet, but I know they are going quick. Go buy your tickets to CSW Coronation, Lenexa, Kansas National Guard Armory. Should be a phenomenal show.
Absolutely.
Next show up, guys, is over.
Hey, so you don't have to bring that up. Don't bring it up. But Brian J's comment, that's only because I called it. So.
Yep.
I'm being facetious. I think Cruel couldn't make the show because Cruel couldn't make the show. Right. But if Cruel could have made the show, then that would have happened, Brian.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Definitely.
Going to the middle of Missouri, New Breed Wrestling is having an event same night.
Capital Punishment.
Capital Punishment, man. So
Jeff City.
Yes, in Jefferson City. They have not officially announced any matches yet on this card, but they've got a lot of graphics kind of promoting the show. So we'll kind of just go through one by one and go through each of them. So first one here, Nothing Neater, Derek Teeter. We've talked to him, or I talked to him at the I guess I didn't really talk to him. He commented on our social media pages.
Yeah.
He was not happy with how
you upset him.
Yeah, I did because I went to the same medical doctor school as Dr. Eisen and said his injury didn't look legit anymore. I know it was originally, but he's milking it, like we like to say. So he will be there.
Where's it at? Oh man.
And your boy, the wrestling's finest, Blair Dior, is going to be in Jeff City for New Breed Wrestling Capital Punishment. Speaking of the doctor, your son's favorite wrestler, Dr. Eisen with Money Mike Pettis.
That's not a real doctor.
No, but he's a big fan of Mike Pettis, right? He kept talking about money, didn't he?
Well, he only wanted money from Mike Pettis. So.
Didn't really like the man.
But Dimitri wants money from everybody.
Heard that. Same.
Yes.
Same. A very uprising tag team from Team Forge, the O'Neill brothers, going to be in Jeff City.
Yes.
One of the top tag teams in the area, the Top Guns.
Brandon Beretta.
Yep. And Joe Vanetti going to be in Jeff City. Bert Candy, my son's favorite wrestler. No longer has that luscious blonde pink hair. Got shaved off in Sedalia, so he will be looking a little bit different here in New Breed. But he will be in Jeff City. The American Outlaw, Tyler Bodine. You good, Chase?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're good. Another wrestler we had on late last year, very promising, kind of been on the uprise here in the area. LD, I don't know how to even say this. 2-belt El Diablo, PopCon and TV champion. So he's coming in with both belts.
Nice.
The newly crowned New Breed Wrestling United States champion, astonishing Austin Mulitalo, going to be in Jeff City, as he should. Big Clay Huna, going to be in Jeff City.
Nice.
Slammermania, Run Wild in Jeff City. So again, guys, this is there's about 15, 14 wrestlers that they've announced for this show. Looks like, according to the graphic, Shooter Shailin's going to be there. I mean, a Belmont, Superstar Steve is going to be there. Derek McQuinn. We haven't seen Derek McQuinn in a while. So we have no idea who's wrestling who for this show because the matches have not been announced yet. So,
bro, you can go ahead and kill that fly if you want to. Nobody's going to.
I'm going to here in a minute.
Nobody's
going to mute, and I'm just going to. Damn kids leave the freaking garage door open, and I get like 7 or 8 flies flying around the basement. So,
don't worry, I got a fly trap right here. You just can't see it on camera. So,
yeah,
because I'm in the garage now. So,
I should invest in one. Yep. So there you have it, guys. If you're in mid-Missouri, Jeff City, Sedalia, Columbia, make the drive out. New Breed Wrestling. Go to tear it up in Jeff City.
Yes.
Let's take have I missed any comments here? Josh isn't putting that fly over, brother. I'm not, and I won't. What? Joshy Glasses likes snowman cupcakes.
Snowman cupcakes are pretty good.
I don't know. Haven't had one. Anyway, next up, card number 3 of 5. A card that is just as good as any of the 5 that are happening. A lot of great action here, but we're going to go through each one of them again, just like we did. Second to none, Kenny Alfonso in a number 1 contenders match at GloryPro locked up against Xavier Walker.
See, now this is great. I'm excited to see this match. But why does Kenny Alfonso have to fight for a number one contendership? Didn't Mike Outlaw cause some fuckery at the end of that match with Camaro Jackson?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. He should have to fight for it again, but I mean, here he is, and you know what? Beat Xavier, get that title shot again, and then become the Crown of Glory champion. I don't hate it. I like it. Next up, speaking of Mike Outlaw, him and Raheem De La Suede taking on Chris Hendricks and Mason St. Goods. Looks like the match is sponsored by Know the Ropes podcast.
Agreed.
So, this is all Team Forge right here.
Blair Dior says he's ready for KCXW. So ready that he's early.
Hell yeah, man. I'll well, you'll be
Brian
there, right?
J. Brian J says is that Kenny says Kenny all day.
Hell yeah, Brian knows.
Yep.
Brian knows. But yes, big showcase at Team Forge. We've seen Chris and Mason a few times here in our area, so I think this is a good opportunity for them to, show up against two. I mean, the veteran, obviously Mike Outlaw, but this would be a good showcase for them. Women's match: Blair Onyx against the Little Blue Dragon. Little Blue Dragon, Tootie Lynn.
Yes, that's definitely going to be a good match.
Hell yeah.
We've seen Blair Onyx in GloryPro and around the St. Louis area, and then of course Tootie Lynn, Team Forge, run in St. Louis. So very excited to see those two women go up against each other.
All right.
ATM
So we've got a
Big Munch versus Crash Jackson versus Storm Grayson.
Yes.
Oh.
No, I was going to say, Big Munch, we were introduced to him at Grandel. He was in the was it the Battle Royal to get that last spot in the ladder match. So actually I think ATM and Crash Jackson were all in there as well. But I might be mistaken there. But anyway, either way, ATM and Big Munch are phenomenal athletes, and I'm not terribly familiar with the other two guys, but should be a fun match. Next up, sorry, I got off my. There we go. Tag team tag team match: Karam and Rohit Raju taking on Ethan Price and Moses the Deliverer. This one's fun too, man. The hustle and muscle's been kind of at odds here with Xavier Walker lately, but Karam and Rohit has they've stuck together and looking to get back on track against the big strong boy and Moses here.
Yes. Good to see Moses, getting back into tag team action. GloryPro. Good to see Ethan Price getting back into tag team action. Both of these guys have former partners who went elsewhere or went different ways. So good to see them come together, and we'll see if they can coexist enough to beat one of the most dominant tag teams in GloryPro right now.
Yeah. Both of their tag team partners backstabbed them. Speaking of the backstabbing, one of those is Jake Something, who is kind of been running rampant here the last couple shows for GloryPro, kind of targeting Dan the Dad in his matches. So Dan's finally going to get his chance to redeem and his revenge against Jake Something. I just don't know if Dan the Dad is going to be able to overcome the mammoth that is Jake Something.
Yes.
Next up, Best Bros. Here taking on Moreno, affiliate Moreno Experience.
Yes.
PME. Who are the Crown of Glory, the United Glory Tag Champions.
Yes. Very excited to I've become a fan of the United Glory Tag Team Champions. So very excited to see them defend the titles.
Super entertaining, man. PME is a very entertaining team, so should be a fun one. But speaking of fun, I don't know if you want to call this a co-main event. Do we call this the main? I mean, I know it's not the main event, but it is the Crown of Glory Championship match. The Quad Father, Camaro Jackson, going one-on-one with Calvin Tankman, who currently has possession of the Crown of Glory Championship.
Yes, we saw after Kenny Alfonso walked out after his grueling battle with Mike Outlaw and Kenny Alfonso. He was attacked by Calvin Tankman, and Calvin took the title and told him, he said, "Yo, you want it? Come get it." So we saw the promo during the mid-show break. The Quad Father's coming to take back what's his, man. It's exciting. This will be the epitome of big meaty men slapping meat. So I'm a huge fan of Calvin Tankman. Brian J. Bebe and myself got to see Calvin tear the house down at GCW in St. Louis, and now watching Calvin go one-on-one with Camaro Jackson. I'm not envious that this match is on the same weekend that we're sponsoring CSW at all. Not envious at all.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
While you'll be at CSW, I will be in the comfort of my own home with Fight TV on the big screen, and I will be engulfing in this live.
No, you won't.
I will be watching GloryPro Locked Up June 24th.
You lying sack of shit. You will not be. You'll be listening to Screaming Ass Babies.
Screaming Ass Babies are going to bed. You're right. I'll probably miss the first match. So as long as this match doesn't go, this next match doesn't go on first, then again, I don't want to miss any of the matches. I'll just start late. But the Steel Cage main event, this has been building up for months now. Cody Lane taking on Warhorse. It's always cool to see an independent wrestling company put on a steel cage match, especially when it's and this is no shade to companies that do this because we've seen it happen a couple times, but they emphasize the cage match as a blow off to one match. I love it when they do this because there are some that has done, entire events in a cage match, which are still cool. But when it's such a, the stakes are high and they're, this feud has been building for a very long time. And this is kind of the blow off of the feud here for them to only have the one cage match as the main event. We saw it at CSW. Now we're going to see it here in GloryPro. I believe we saw it in Kansas somewhere. I can't remember, XWE maybe. But, when the stakes are so high and they put the main event in the cage, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but this is going to be a phenomenal match. Love both of these guys. Warhorses, if you guys don't follow him on social media, his promos are absolutely phenomenal. You need to go check him out because they're gonna crack you up. They're great. That's all there is to it. Cody Lane, phenomenal in-ring athlete, and both of these guys are going to tear down the house inside of a steel cage in Delmore Hall. I can't speak highly enough of this match. This is going to be a great main event.
Absolutely. You said everything that I was going to say plus more.
So there you have it, man. That's GloryPro locked up. If you're in the same, that is 3.
3 of the 5 events. What's the next one you got?
Well, we talked about Kansas City. We talked about Mid-Missouri. We talked about St. Louis. So if you're in St. Louis, go check out Locked Up, GloryPro this weekend. The next one is in Kansas, a little bit west, still kind of Kansas City Metro. So if you're in, still in the Kansas City Metro, this event happens roughly in your area as well, but it's further in Kansas and Ottawa. Trailblazer Championship Wrestling having a Star Spangled Slammer is their event, and they're coming off a great they're riding high on an event they had last month. Phenomenal card, phenomenal turnout, and they've got 5 or 6 matches announced here. For some reason, I'm only seeing 4, so I'm gonna let you take this first match while I try to find the other graphic. So first up, Madman Max Sterling taking on Shimbashi.
Yes. Madman Max Sterling and Shimbashi as Star Spangled Slammer. Gonna be exciting to see this match. So Shimbashi is pretty high octane. So I haven't seen Madman Max Sterling wrestle live. Only on video VODs and live streams, but should be a good event if you are in the Ottawa, Kansas area.
Yeah, Madman. I think he's wrestled a few times in WLW too.
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken. He's I don't know if he's a mainstay there, but I've seen him wrestle. I got the graphic, so we're gonna jump backwards. This was the one I was gonna show first. Bobby Joe Black taking on Salem Gust. If you guys don't follow Arcadia Pod on Facebook, they just had an interview with Bobby Joe Black, and just kind of a written interview. You can read it. He does great articles on CSW, kind of promoting their events and kind of giving a breakdown of each match. He does the same thing here for Star Spangled Slammer. Trailblazer, he does it for Mid-States as well. Or not Mid-States, Tri-States. So he does great articles, but he just had a interview with Bobby Joe Black and just posted that today. So that's Arcadia Pod if you don't follow them. But this is a body slam match. And I'm assuming what should be assumed is the man who body slams the other wins the match. So, in looking at this graphic, we talked about it last week. Bobby Joe Black is the underdog in this one because Salem Gus looks like a big boy.
Yes.
So,
agreed. Because I watched Bobby Joe Black wrestle at WLW. Haven't seen Salem Gus wrestle. So yes, I would assume that Salem Gus is the big boy.
Rocco the Barbarian and Deacon Kane. I believe Deacon is more of a manager in Trailblazer, but he is getting called in to be the wrestler here. Rocco the Barbarian, Deacon Kane taking on Ali Summers and Danny O'Ryan in a tag team match here at the Army National Guard in Ottawa, Kansas.
Yes. I'm pretty sure you are correct on the Deacon Kane analogy. I wouldn't hate it if the two younger guys, Ali Summers and Danny O'Ryan, won this match. So,
yep. Agreed.
Wouldn't hate it at all.
Do not hate it. Jared Thumb coming back. I don't think we've seen Jared in Trailblazer for a few months, but he's coming in to take on Alonzo Romero here. I don't know if this is the main event, but I didn't know the particular order, but this was the last match they announced. So Jared, I know, is a big fan favorite in Trailblazer, if I'm not mistaken. I saw some promos and some matches that they posted on their Facebook page, and he got a pretty good crowd reaction from this was back when they were in Olathe. But yeah, this should be a fun one as well.
Absolutely.
Last but not least, don't know if this is gonna be the main event, but this is gonna be fun, man. Trailblazer kind of hit it big here, getting the son of Harley Race, Leland Race, coming over to Ottawa to take on Luke Anthony. Both men from we see them a lot in WLW, World League Wrestling, obviously. So both these men wrestling each other. Luke's phenomenal talent. I've seen him a few times on the video on demand. Leland Race, we know, is the trainer at the Harley Race Wrestling Academy. So this is probably going to be the main event. I don't know, but this is going to be fun, and it's a good get for Trailblazer to get Leland and Luke Anthony.
Absolutely.
So there you have it, guys. Ottawa, Kansas. Not about about an hour or so away from Kansas City. So if you're in that area I don't want to say Western Kansas, but if you're in Kansas, go check out Star Spangled Slammer.
Absolutely.
You don't say absolutely a lot, do you?
No, not at all.
4 down, 1 to go.
That is right. Springfield, Missouri. Our friends over at Mid-Stage Wrestling, Space Cowboy Jason Jones and the whole crew is coming from Harrison, Arkansas to Springfield, Missouri this Saturday, and they are going to crown the first ever Missouri heavyweight champion. Very excited for them. We saw the graphic earlier. Dred Roberts talked about being there. The tournament. Go ahead and bring up that tournament bracket again. Take a look at that. Luke Langley and the Iceman, round 1. Dred Roberts and Cole Therium Vaught, round 2, or another first round match. Big Joe Helm and Tim Rockwell. Gary Graham, Niles Plonke. Man.
A lot of good names there.
Yes, a lot of good names there.
This is interesting because Luke Langley is the current Mid-Stage Wrestling heavyweight champion and is absolutely dominating MSW. Because when we started the podcast, Luke Langley was the Mid-Stage Wrestling heavyweight champion, and he has never lost that thing. Every other company that we have talked about on this show has crowned a new champion since the I-70 hot tag started, except for Mid-Stage Wrestling. Luke Langley is dominating Mid-Stage Wrestling and could dominate Missouri and become Luke Langley 2 belts. Could have 2 titles hanging around. That blue championship there on the far right, that's the Missouri title. They just crowned their Kansas heavyweight champion, Burt Cameron, who we'll have on the show in 2 weeks. But this is for Missouri, man. And they frequent Missouri quite often. They wrestle in they have Springfield shows, I want to say every other month at least.
Well, the last time they were in Springfield was when I went to that show, and I think that was in March.
So yeah, it's been 3 months then. Yep. So every 2 to 3 months they come up to Missouri, and it's cool, man. I like the fact that they're kind of expanding their championships and they're giving giving opportunities to other athletes, even though Luke Langley could potentially run this and have 2 titles around his waist. But let's take a look at this, man. So who do you see in the finals? So you can see who we got there. You got in the top bracket, you got Luke Langley, Iceman, Colton Theron Vaught, and Dred Roberts. Who do you see in that top bracket making it to the finals?
I think the Iceman is going to pull an upset.
So the Iceman beats Langley.
I think Colton Theron Vaught beats Dred Roberts. I think Big Joe Helms beats Rockwell. I think Niles Planquet beats Gary Graham.
Okay. So you've got Iceman, CTV, Joe Helms, and Niles Planquet. So who goes on to the finals?
Iceman and Niles Planquet.
And then who's the inaugural Missouri heavyweight champion?
Niles Planquet.
Niles Planquet. I like it. I like it. So mine was fairly similar. Though I did not have Iceman beating Langley. I have Langley beating Iceman. I do have CTV beating Dred Roberts, Joe Helms beating Tim Rockwell, and Niles Planquet defeating Gary Graham. What I did have is I had CTV beating Luke Langley to go on to the finals. And here's where I got it kind of weird here. I went Big Joe Helms to the finals against beating Niles Planquet. So my finals were Colton Theron Vaught versus Big Joe Helms. And I'm going Big Joe Helms as your first inaugural Missouri heavyweight wrestling champion. So both of us picking the winner down from the bottom side of the bracket. No love for Dred, no love for Luke, no love for the Iceman.
No, I think the fact that Luke Langley has a title already, I'm very confused by them doing that, but trust the process, of course. I think they know what they're doing down there at Mid-States Wrestling, but I think that I think something's gonna happen. I think Iceman's gonna make sure that he wins at all costs.
I don't hate it. So there you have it, guys. Springfield, Missouri. You're in that area, southern Missouri, northern Arkansas. It's not that far away. Branson. Go check out Mid-States Wrestling. They are going to this is going to be a fun tournament. All these guys are great. And Mid-States
Table Rock Lake is beautiful around this time of the year, so definitely go to Table Rock Lake and go see some Mid-States Wrestling too while you're at it.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Love it.
There we are, man. Almost at
wine sucks.
Yes,
I agree. Especially when it's going one-on-one with pizza.
Yes.
Then I'm going to go with the pizza. Yep. I do love that Niles Planquet interview we had, though. That was a fun one.
It was. Sonny also says, "Come on, fellas, don't sleep on Iceman. He's going to dance all over the ring after he beats Langley." I agree. But I think Niles Planquet finds a way to pull it out. So
I like it.
Man, right there at the 2-hour mark. What do you know? Let's talk about some upcoming events and let's get out of here.
Let's do it.
All right. Wrong computer.
I think we've drained what's happening on June 24th. So you could probably briefly skim over those, but go down to like a couple of events in July.
Yes. So the 5 events happening on June 24th, we all talked about: Central States, Trailblazer, Mid-States, GloryPro, New Breed. Definitely go check those out no matter where you're at, whether you're in Kansas, Missouri, East Missouri, you've got plenty, Central Missouri, you've got plenty of stuff to do. So definitely go check that out. Next weekend, June 30th, me, my wife, and my son will be at WrestleMax St. Louis Reborn, their first show since mid-October. So very excited to see that. You're going to see the Premier versus the Rascals.
Billy Starks versus Missa Kate.
Yes, Billy Starks versus Missa Kate. A lot of good matches on that card, so definitely check that out. And then first weekend in July. Technically not the first weekend in July, is it? No, it's not. Because the first weekend in July is July 1st. So early weekend in July. You've got traditional American Pro Wrestling, Freedom Brawl. We're going to see Ray Leon taking on Burt Cameron, our guest next week. So very excited to see that. And that about does it. Check out our guests, upcoming guests, Burt Cameron, Calvin Aldridge, the realist, and then, of course, Gil Rogers. Man.
Making his CSW return this Saturday, man. He's not wrestling, but he is haven't seen him in a while, man. He was appointed the assistant territory manager for CSW, so it's good to see him back. I'm glad that hopefully his knee is recovered fully. I think he hurt that knee pretty close to no turning back, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, let me tell you something. Next week, don't let me forget to ask Gil Rogers why he thought it was okay to suspend Hoodie Howlett for hitting an official when the Premier attacked them last August. So, just saying.
I mean, I know you
find it really weird that he hasn't been the assistant general manager of CSW since he planted that dud. So
he should have been there when Cruel attacked everybody.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Cruel ain't even gonna be there, so
I know. Yep. But still.
Yes, still. Very excited for our upcoming guest. Can't wait to see all that, and excited for this weekend.
Yeah,
CSW,
man.
baby. CSW.
CSW.
And then WrestleMax the week after, and then look at that.
Talk to your boy Joe when you're there at CSW, and tell him to get me one of these fancy posters. That's a badass poster. That's When the Levee Breaks. If you guys don't know,
I'll see what I can.
I mean, I got Jeremy Wyatt all over my damn wall, so I don't know if I want another Jeremy Wyatt on the wall, but I do like to hang up. My wall is basically everything that we have sponsored since we started the show. We got Horseman Country right here, all around. CSW, GloryPro, XWE. So, 5 guys.
Anyways,
I don't hate it. I am a fatty, and when you said 5 guys, I'm on board.
That's like his 3rd or 4th one tonight, dude. He's out of control.
Okay, I just read the rest of the. All right. Anyway, continue.
Sonny will be there Saturday. Brian J will be there Saturday. I'll be there Saturday. You'll be at home. Have fun.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I will send you pictures. So. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the I-70 Hot Tag, and for myself, Chase CR Media, as you may know me.
Hang on, before we close this out, guys. One last time, we still got quite a big viewer count here. If you have the means to, please scan your phone to this QR code, and it's been scrolling the entire event, guys. Alan Jones was involved in a car accident this weekend and needs our help. And if you have the means to, please go to his GoFundMe and get help out. If you cannot, we completely understand. No, go to our Facebook page or go to KCXW or go find it, share it, try to get this, spread the word out. Great kid. Need some help, and if you have the means, it would be awesome, because Alan Jones is a great kid, and we want to support as best as we can. So scan the phone right here. We'll leave it up throughout the whole ending video, and we appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in.
Absolutely. For myself, Chase CR Media, for my friend Josh Elliott, the real Josh Elliott, as always, good night and good fight.
Something like that.